Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. I'm in a big hurry today because I gotta take this baby to the dealer to get some service done, but I'm gonna tell you the story when we get in the pickup. Long story short, I had a shade tree backwoods mechanic work on this bike. I love this bike. It's a 2001 Kawasaki Vulcan 1500 carb model. Sounds fantastic, runs fantastic, shaft drive. I've taken this thing halfway across the country and back in 2 days. Awesome riding bike. I got the 12-inch forward controls on it. I'm 6'6". Just an awesome bike. Loud pipes on it, sissy bar on it, almost straight bars on it. Again, I'm a big dude, but let me give you a quick walk around of this bike. Then I'm gonna tell you the story of how a guy got one over on me on this bike, ripped me off, and that's why it's been sitting in the garage for way too long. But hey, she runs good. It's been on the battery tender. It ought to fire up. Pulled a choke here. I say I ought to. I haven't started this thing in probably 3 or 4 months. Come on, baby. Battery's a little low. Battery's a little low. Come on, baby. You can do it. It's not cranking as fast as it should be. I took the battery tender off when we moved and I didn't put it back on. Hop, come on. I'm making you look bad in front of my friends. Anyways, this bike is awesome. I love it. I love to ride it. It's got low miles, only 24,000. Anyways, let me get this loaded up in the pickup. Anytime you're loading up a bike, you got to record it in case something crazy happens, but I'm gonna do my best to not drop it. Almost had a mishap with it when we were moving, but quick walk around real quick. You don't see these Vulcans much, especially in this condition. Like I said, 2001 1500. In 2001, this was the cat's meow. You were one cool dude if you were riding this thing down the road. I would argue, hey, you're still one cool dude if you're riding this thing down the road. But you can see from sitting in the garage, hey, both my front blinkers broke off. I'm gonna see at the dealer if they'll just cap these wires and cap that, and then I'll just run this with no front blinkers, more like a chopper. And like I said, 12-inch, those, I don't know if you're supposed to say it, Yardine or Jardine forward controls. All this looks kind of dusty, but man, let me tell you, this thing polishes up real nice. It's got loud pipes, straight pipes. I don't know the brand because there's no markings on it. Those were on it when I bought it used. It's got this almost straight bar. You ride it, I pretty much ride it with my arms straight out. I put the sissy bar on there, makes my wife feel more comfortable riding it. Aside from that, it's all pretty much stock. You can see, man, I've kept this up real nice. And this is after being parked in the garage for a while, not being shined up, but original paint's still good. I'd like to have my buddy do a custom paint job on the fenders and on the gas tank, but we'll see. I like that big old chrome headlight. This thing's just slick, and let me tell you, it rips. If you're not familiar with this style bike, there's the shaft. It's a shaft drive. No chain, no belt, shaft drive, low maintenance. Probably have them check the gear oil in the back on that while they're at it. I said I was in a hurry and was gonna make this quick, but I just love talking about this bike. If you love bikes, you know what I'm talking about. We can talk about bikes all day. Anyways, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, WHOTEEWHO'S Garage. Let's load this up, and on the way to the dealer, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Can't ride it right now. All right, so not gonna lie, I thought I had a little bit better angle on the driveway here than what I do. This thing has been lowered with some lowering shocks on the back. So the drain plug and the frame sit pretty low to the ground. Let's hope I don't bottom out on the back of the trailer here. Hear my chickens over there. Bruce, leave the chickens alone. That's my dog. Anyways, Always good to have two people when you're doing this, but I'm only one person and I ain't got nobody to help me right now today. So let's see what happens. Get a good running start here. Yep, and we absolutely bottomed out. Not good, not good. So I don't even think I can get it up there anymore because the way the frame's sitting. Yeah, I'm stuck. So I'm gonna have to jerk it off the back and get a more extreme angle. Oh man, that was a bummer. Now, I hate grinding the bottom of that bike there, but the case comes down in the middle and it's the lowest thing right here on the front. Hit that too hard, you'll be having some oil drain out everywhere. Let's try this again. All right, so like I said, loading bikes is always a pain. I got it backed up to a little bit different angle of a hill now. I got it loaded up to a little bit different angle of a hill now. See if this works. Please cross your fingers in case we hit the bottom. Oh, that is perfect, y'all. That is perfect. Always be on the brake. Perfect. And I'm gonna let the tire just barely touch there and put the kickstick down. But I'm going up to America's Motorsports. Y'all see me? I'm going up to America's Motorsports. And I forget the name of the dealer already. Anyways, they're good folks. And I just called them. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, starts with an R. Something mall up near Nashville somewhere. Used to be a mall with the same name. Anyways, yeah, I already called them, said, hey, y'all got a way to get this bike off the trailer? I'm having to do some monkey business to get it on. They said, bring it on, man. We'll get it off, no worries. So let me show you something real quick. If you got a two-wheel machine, you need these straps. These are a lifesaver. You get your put these on your bars, then do your ratchet straps to this instead of just looping it around that. That nylon is not coming down, and yeah, you're gonna be safe. So I'm gonna strap it from these down to these D hooks on this trailer here. All right, now of course it started pouring down rain, so I'm soaking wet, but I use those nylon straps down to there. Same thing on the front. You gotta do this. That ain't going nowhere. Just in case one of the front ones break, I got the back ones on there too. I gotta get in the truck, y'all. It's pouring rain. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what happened to this bike. My poor bike, never been in the rain in its life, and here we are pouring down on it. Oh man, it needed the dust knocked off it anyways, I guess. I'm gonna hit the road. Drive real careful on the way to America's Motorsports Rivergate location. Rivergate's the word I was looking for earlier. Incredible folks. So yeah, it's the kind of thing where I'm probably going to drive past 3 other motorcycle dealers on the way, but when you find good people, you find good people, you know what I'm saying? So let's head down there and drop him off his bike. All right, so story time. You can see I got the bike on the trailer behind me still. I got 2 hands on the wheel. We're doing hands-free filming, y'all. Don't worry about it. All y'all people worry about the safety. Anyways, so what happened was, I took this bike, my Vulcan 1500 Kawasaki, to this guy. He's new in town, and he stood up a shop. You know, it was literally half a mile from my house. And it was getting ready for the season. It was due an oil change. I normally do that easy service stuff myself, you know, plugs, wires, oils, you know, easy stuff. I can do it quick in the garage. With me, everything's about time. If I can do it quick, that's fine. But man, if y'all know me, my schedule is so crazy busy. If it's gonna take me a day or 2, I just don't have time for that. Anyways, I said, get this thing ready. Change the oil, new spark plugs, check the carb, you know, make sure it's set right, and just let me know anything else you see. Dropped it off, drove it to his shop, you know. Oh, and I said put new brake pads on it if I didn't say that already. He said, okay, no big deal, you know. You try to support local businesses, you know, help out good folks. Well, he calls me back, you know, a week later. Hey, your bike's done. Well, I was going to a funeral. My good friend's dad passed away, and we went to his funeral. It was unexpected, a really bad deal. I'm going by myself. I'm in a hurry. You can get places faster on a bike. And so I took the bike. Hold on, my wife's calling me. So, sorry. So the guy calls me back. Your bike's ready to go. Come pick it up. I come pick it up. And then I zip it. I need to go about 20 miles away to my buddy's dad's funeral. Well, once the motor warms up, it starts slipping. It's got no pull, and I'm having to ride it at super high revs just to pull the bike to get there. When I get to the funeral home parking lot, I'm checking the clutch cable. I'm looking everything up and down, like what in the world? It was riding fine when I took it to this guy's shop. I don't understand. But like I said, I had things to do, so whatever. I fired it back up. It started driving okay, but 2 minutes later, once it warmed up, slipping. Well, and I'm thinking in my head, this guy put the wrong oil in this bike. You have got to be kidding me. I called him up. I said, man, I just drove my bike 20 miles somewhere and then 20 miles back and did the same thing both ways. The clutch is slipping, like to the point where you can't even drive it. I said, what kind of oil did you put in my bike? He said, oh, such and such. I forget the brand, whatever. But I said, that's for cars. That's for cars, man. You got to put in wet clutch, V-twin, motorcycle oil in this car. Or in this bike, rather. And my wife called me again. Hold on. All right, I got to finish this story. My wife keeps calling me. Anyways, I said, you put car oil in my motorcycle. He's like, no, man. And I'm like, yeah, you got to put in wet clutch, V-twin, motorcycle oil. You know, there's quite a few people that make it. That's fine. I tend to just get the Kawasaki oil. You know what I'm saying? It's a little more expensive, but it's Kawasaki oil made for the Kawasaki. You know what I mean? V-twin motorcycle oil. Anyways, yeah. And he's like, well, bring it back. You know, I'll bring it back and I'll fix it. And I'm thinking, like, there ain't no way I'm letting you touch my bike. So I didn't. Limped it home again, and I drained the oil, and I put in the motorcycle oil in it, thinking, it's just going to be fixed like that. No. So somehow, I don't claim to be a mechanical expert on how a clutch works, but somehow the clutch and the friction plates and all that, everything slips. It has absolutely zero pull now, hot or cold, zero pull. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, I'm taking it to American Motorsports, Rivergate, so they can fix it. I've taken that bike to several other dealers, and they laughed me out of the building, saying we don't work on bikes since 2001. A lot of dealers are going that way now, where they'll only work on the new stuff. But this bike is a nice bike with low miles. But it's essentially junk metal if it doesn't run and drive. Even in perfectly running and driving condition, it's not worth that much money. But it's kind of one of those things. I could trade it in on something newer, but trade value on it is essentially nothing. So, but I'm gonna take it up here. They told me this morning they work on that type of stuff, and they'd be happy to look at it for me, and they were real nice folks. So I'm on the way up there to drop it off to them. America's Motorsports Rivergate. They're awesome. So, whole moral of the story is be careful on who you let work on your machines. Your machines are an investment. You need them, whether you use them for working or to get to working or just plain out having fun. I wouldn't trust a shade tree mechanic unless he came with super reliable recommendations from a good friend of yours. The whole reason we were even up at that dealer is I was taking delivery of this brand new Kawasaki Ridge Limited. Stay tuned. I'm going to have a bunch of videos going all over this. You see, the birds got me already, but incredible machine. Comes with tons of options, including HVAC. But hey, I can't say enough good things about that America's Motorsports Rivergate location. They even called me on my way home. I drove pretty far to get to that place. It took me almost 2 hours to get home. But even on my way home, they called me and said, yep, we already had one of our guys take a look at it. Here's our initial thoughts. Let's start with this, et cetera, et cetera. And then depending on how things go, we'll go further from there. But good folks, like I said, I talked to the sales guys. I talked to parts. I bought a battery for my four-wheeler there. Super helpful. Everybody was friendly. I go to a lot of dealers, and I even told them this while I was there. I said, y'all are treating me like family. They took the time to explain things. They even took the time to explain the recommended service intervals on this machine when I picked it up. A lot of dealers, when you go in there, they're just chilling, telling stories, and you ask them questions. They act like you're bothering them, you know, so on and so forth. And then if you're not going to buy something, well, then they don't have the time to talk to you. Anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. Awesome folks down there. Appreciate them big time. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed for the follow-up when we get that Vulcan back and get to ripping it. My dream bike, as of right now, is the brand new Kawasaki Vulcan Vaquero. Awesome bikes. Bigger motor than that older one that I got. Fuel injected. All the bells and whistles on radio. Anyways, appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned. Even though they're further away, I found my new Kawasaki dealer that I love, and they're good folks down there. They're going to be working on all my machines. But hey, appreciate you watching. Make sure you're subscribed. There'll be a coming up here soon, week 2, 3, update on that bike and everything that we had done to it. But hey, appreciate you watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Hoo-doo.